right, it's 6:30. I'd like to call to order the Charter Township of Oxford Board of Trustees regular meeting for Wednesday, October 9th, 2024. Would we all please rise and pay respects to the flag?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Noting of the roll, please.
Noted, there is a quorum.
Thank you. Approval of the agenda.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda with the following deletion.
13C.
Item 13C, sign application request.
I'll second. I have a motion by Treasurer Ferrari, a second by Trustee Noel. Any questions? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Hearing none. Item 5, approval of the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second. I have a motion by Treasurer Ferrari and a second by Trustee Noel. Are there any questions on the consent agenda? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Charles?
Yes.
Clerk Wright, yes. Trustee Noel?
Yes.
Trustee Payne?
Yes.
Trustee Colvin?
Yes.
Treasurer Ferrari?
Yes.
And Supervisor Curtis?
Yes. Item number 6, public comment on items that are not on the agenda. If anybody in the audience would like to come up to the microphone and speak, we give you 3 minutes to talk about anything, any item that's not on the agenda. So I'm calling to the public now. Oh, come on up.
Go ahead, I'd like to introduce myself, Dave Wagner. I'm one of the candidates for the trustee positions. Look forward to working with everyone, and really excited. So, thank you.
Thank you. Any other members of the public like to comment on items not on the agenda? Seeing none, we'll go through Board of Trustees comments. And we'll start with Trustee Colvin, please.
Go Tigers.
Nothing.
Trustee Payne has no comments. Trustee Noel?
No, thank you.
Treasurer Ferrari?
Nothing at this time.
Clerk Wright?
Just want to let everybody know that the election is open for businesses, we'll call it. So absentee ballots have been mailed out, so if you request one, haven't received one, please call my office and make sure that we can accommodate your wishes. That's my comment. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Charles?
No comments.
Okay, I have a couple. One, you notice this room has been painted. It's not finished. It will be finished next week. The dais will be painted. We painted the podium and brightened it up a little bit here, brought it up to date. And secondly, Monday, October 14th, we will start the build out in the basement, the expansion of the sheriff's substation, and the building of our election type quasi area we can sequester and new storage right underneath this room. So starting Monday, there'll be dust and havoc around here. So those are the 2 comments I had. Item 8, we posted in the public forum in the paper that the public hearing would start at 7 o'clock and it's 6:34. Should we come back to that, holding to the public notice? Clerk Wright?
Yeah, what you'll do is you can move on with your agenda, and then when it hits 7 o'clock, you can go back to your
Okay.
agenda. Or if you want to call 26-minute recess.
No, I'm fine with that.
Day's over, Curtis.
Yeah. Item 9, second reading, 9A, zoning ordinance 67A.033. Board members, as recommended by the Township Planning Commission. In your packet is the second reading and possible adoption of the zoning ordinance amendments for special land use site plan review and exterior lighting. Any questions or comments on the second reading?
I move to approve the second reading of the amendments to the Oxford Township zoning ordinance ordinance number 67-8.033 as presented, specifically Article 2 definitions, and Article 10 environmental protections. Direct the Township Clerk to publish the ordinance in accordance with state law.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Treasurer Ferrari and a second by Trustee Colvin. Are there any questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Colvin.
Yes.
Trustee Payne.
Yes.
Trustee Noel.
Yes.
Treasurer Ferrari.
Yes.
Clerk Wright, yes. Trustee Charles.
Yes.
Supervisor Curtis.
Yes. Item 9B, zoning ordinance 67A.034. This is the second reading, and as recommended by the Oxford Township Planning Commission, attached or in your packet is the zoning ordinance amendments and the additions of section 5.39 renewable energy facilities. Any questions on the packet?
I move to approve the second reading of the amendments to the Oxford Township zoning ordinance, ordinance number 67-8.034 as presented, specifically in Article 2 definitions, Article 3 schedule of uses, Article 5 renewable energy facilities, and including the deletion of section 6.25, wind energy conversion systems. Direct the Township Clerk to publish the ordinance in accordance with state law.
Second.
I have a motion by Treasurer Ferrari, a second by Trustee Payne. Are there any questions? Roll call?
Treasurer Ferrari.
Yes.
Clerk Wright, yes. Trustee Charles.
Yes.
Trustee Colvin.
Yes.
Trustee Payne.
Yes.
Trustee Noel.
Yes.
Supervisor Curtis.
Yes. Item 10, Fire Department. Chief, you want to come up and introduce Christopher Wolf for us, please?
Yeah, Chris, come on up. This is Christopher Wolf. Chris was one of our part-time paid-on-call members and the first person that we hired as a result of our collaboration with the union to bring people on from within our own ranks through the memo of understanding that we signed with the union to be able to help cultivate from within our own ranks, hiring EMTs who are progressing towards paramedic. And funny enough, he's already finished and now has his paramedic. So he's a full-scale part of the department and no issues there. We're excited to have Chris here with us. His wife Jacqueline's here and their kids. I'm not going to try and remember the names of the kids, but we're welcoming them here to the community and to the department. And again, I want to thank you all for helping us get to this point today because, as you know, this position has been vacant for almost 2 years under the climate that we have. So with that, I'd like to administer the oath of office to Chris and officially bring him on.
Please, sir.
You want to step up? Face this way and raise your hand. Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Christopher Wolf,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
and the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of firefighter/paramedic
that I will faithfully discharge the duties of firefighter/paramedic
in and for the Township of Oxford,
in and for the Township of Oxford,
County of Oakland, according to the best of my ability.
and County of Oakland, to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. And we got 2 documents for you to sign.
What I'd like to do is take about a 5-minute recess so that we can get a couple pictures of Chris and his family and the chief and assistant chief. So if you would, give us 5-10 minutes here. We'll take some pictures and get right back into it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
No, I got it. I got it. I have my number involved
Yeah.
How's it going, Mr. Knowles? I'm in a meeting, but just took. Okay. Oh.
Very nice big smiles.
one more. Right, you guys want?
I don't know. Yeah.
The agenda, and we're down to, and we're down to.
Congratulations, Jeff.
Thank you very much.
I mean,
Appreciate it.
No, they won't. They're perfect. They're perfect.
Yeah.
Board.
Yeah, so I mean, she could transfer from her computer onto a new one.
Kind of a nice night.
Bye. Since she was as old as our youngest child.
We have time for Jim Sharp to get a complete total report.
No, we don't.
From the,
No, we don't.
Little Red Hat
Yeah,
letter.
yeah.
Good.
Yep.
Then Robert was her uncle then.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, we'll go back onto live action here.
What time is it?
It is
6:42.
6:42. Board, I go on to item number 11. Board members, in your packet is a memo from Sharp Engineering giving a report on all the progress of projects going on in the community. Engineer Sharp is here. Should you have any questions, and I'll entertain them at this time.
I have a quick question.
Yes, sir.
Jim, just a quick update on Brad Dewey, just what's going on there. I've had a few people ask me, I don't feel comfortable with my degree of knowledge compared to yours.
So basically, we have the design completed and we're just awaiting the, how the project will be funded. So there's been some money that's been supposedly coming this way in the form of a grant, but we don't know when exactly that money is going to be placed into the township coffers. And the amount of the grant will not cover the entire portion of the project. So the remaining portion of the project has yet to be determined how that will be paid for.
What would the goal of the project be?
The goal of the project?
Well, right now, the goal of the project is we've completed the sewer line up to it. The goal of the project is to live out the expectations of the grant, to prevent the sanitary waste from getting into the mainstream of the headwaters, Stony Lake, Paint Creek, by possibly making the sewer connections in Brad Dewey. Okay,
Very good.
any other questions for Engineer Sharp? Seeing none, we'll
Thank
move
you.
on. Item 12, Clerk Wright, Cedar Long Tan Lake Special Assessment District Resolution number 3.
Resolution number 3, board members, is just letting you know that the bill has been created, it's in your packet, and also scheduling a public hearing for the November 13th board meeting. So with that, I'll move to approve resolution number 3, proposed special assessment rule for Cedar Lake, Long Lake, and Tan Lake, and scheduling a public hearing to implement an aquatic weed control special assessment district program for Cedar Lake, Long Lake, and Tan Lake, and schedule a public hearing for the Oxford Township Board of Trustees regular meeting on Wednesday, November 13th, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. or soon thereafter at the Oxford Township Meeting Room, 300 Dunlap Road, Oxford, Michigan, to hear and consider any written objections submitted by any interested persons with respect to the special assessment role.
Second.
I have a motion by Clerk Wright, second by Treasurer Ferrari. Are there any questions? Roll call.
Trustee Noel?
Yes.
Trustee Payne?
Yes.
Trustee Colvin?
Yes.
Trustee Charles?
Yes.
Clerk Wright, yes. Treasurer Ferrari?
Yes.
And Supervisor Curtis?
Yes. 6:45. I'm keeping track of the time, Katrina.
Thank you.
Item 12B, Great Lakes, oh no, that's on, we're gonna get back to that. Item 13, new business, resolutions, Treasurer Ferrari.
Board members, these are annual resolutions to place these items on the tax roll, the various different items that we have, including weed control and delinquent water and sewer. So here we go. I move to approve the 2024 delinquent water resolution as presented, the amount of $89,687.90, and authorize it to be placed in the 2024 winter tax roll.
Second.
I have a motion by Treasurer Ferrari, a second by Trustee Noel. Any questions? Hearing none, roll call.
Trustee Colvin.
Yes.
Trustee Payne.
Yes.
Trustee Noel.
Yes.
Treasurer Ferrari.
Yes.
Clerk Wright, yes. Trustee Charles.
Yes.
Supervisor Curtis.
Yes.
I move to approve the 2024 delinquent water 5% administrative fee resolution as presented, the amount of $4,484.40, authorize it to be placed in the 2024 winter tax roll.
Second.
I have a motion by Treasurer Ferrari, a second by Trustee Noel. Any questions? Hearing none, roll call.
Trustee Payne.
Yes.
Trustee Noel.
Yes.
Treasurer Ferrari.
Yes.
Clerk Wright, yes. Trustee Charles.
Yes.
Trustee Colvin.
Yes.
And Supervisor Curtis.
Yes.
I move to approve the 2024 delinquent drains, excuse me, 2024 drains and lake level resolution as presented, the amount of $50,254.25 for the ad valorem roll, $69.27 for the DNR pill roll, and authorize them to be placed on the 2024 winter tax roll.
Second.
I have a motion by Treasurer Ferrari, a second by Trustee Noel. Any questions? Hearing none, roll call.
Trustee Noel.
Yes.
Treasurer Ferrari.
Yes.
Clerk Wright, yes. Trustee Charles.
Yes.
Trustee Colvin.
Yes.
Trustee Payne.
Yes.
Supervisor Curtis.
Yes.
I move to approve the 2024 Indianwood Lake level resolution as presented, the amount of $1,031.44, authorized to be placed in the 2024 winter tax roll.
Second.
I have a motion by Treasurer Ferrari, a second by Trustee Noel. Any questions? Hearing none, roll call.
Treasurer Ferrari.
Yes.
Clerk Wright, yes. Trustee Charles.
Yes.
Trustee Colvin.
Yes.
Trustee Payne.
Yes.
Trustee Noel.
Yes.
Supervisor Curtis.
Yes.
I move to approve the 2024 installment of weed control for Paint Lake Canal resolution as presented, amount of $3,254, and authorized to be placed in the 2024 winter tax roll.
Second.
I have a motion by Treasurer Ferrari, a second by Trustee Noel. Any questions? Hearing none, roll call.
Clerk Wright, yes. Trustee Charles.
Yes.
Trustee Colvin.
Yes.
Trustee Payne.
Yes.
Trustee Noel.
Yes.
Treasurer Ferrari.
Yes.
Supervisor Curtis.
Yes.
I move to approve the 2024 installment of weed control, the Clear Lake and Squaw Lake resolution as presented, amount of $14,125, $13,996.59 on the ad valorem tax roll, and $128.41 on the DNR pill tax roll, and authorize them to be placed in the 2024 winter tax roll.
Second.
I have a motion by Treasurer Ferrari, a second by Trustee Noel. Are there any questions? Hearing none, roll call.
Trustee Charles.
Yes.
Trustee Colvin.
Yes.
Trustee Payne.
Yes.
Trustee Noel.
Yes.
Treasurer Ferrari.
Yes.
Clerk Wright, yes. Supervisor Curtis.
Yes.
I move to approve the 2024 installment of weed control for Lake Nicholson resolution as presented, amount of $22,350, authorized to be placed in the 2024 winter tax roll.
Second.
I have a motion by Treasurer Ferrari, a second by Trustee Noel. Are there any questions? Hearing none, roll call.
Trustee Colvin.
Yes.
Trustee Payne.
Yes.
Trustee Noel.
Yes.
Treasurer Ferrari.
Yes.
Clerk Wright, yes. Trustee Charles.
Yes.
Supervisor Curtis.
Yes.
I move to approve the 2024 installment of weed control for Cedar Lake, Long Lake, and Tan Lake resolution as presented, amount of $30,850, authorized to be placed in the 2024 winter tax roll.
Second.
I have a motion by Treasurer Ferrari, a second by Trustee Noel. Are there any questions?
I have a question of procedure.
Yes.
If this is still unfinished business and we're approving it for the winter tax rolls,
That's the old one. We're talking about the new, Curtis has the new one, this is the old one.
thank you.
Yep. No problem. Thank you, Treasurer Ferrari. Roll call, please.
Let's go with Trustee Payne.
Yes.
Trustee Noel.
Yes.
Treasurer Ferrari.
Yes.
Clerk Wright, yes. Trustee Charles.
Yes.
Trustee Colvin.
Yes.
And Supervisor Curtis.
Yes.
I move to approve the 2024 delinquent sewer resolution as presented, the amount of $111,816.85, authorized to be placed in the 2024 winter tax roll.
Second.
I have a motion by Treasurer Ferrari, a second by Trustee Noel. Are there any questions? Hearing none, roll call.
Trustee Noel.
Yes.
Treasurer Ferrari.
Yes.
Clerk Wright, yes. Trustee Charles.
Yes.
Trustee Colvin.
Yes.
Trustee Payne.
Yes.
Supervisor Curtis.
Yes.
I move to approve the 2024 Elkview Estates Special Assessment District resolution as presented, in the amount of $8,355.97, and authorize it to be placed in the 2024 winter tax roll.
Second.
I have a motion by Treasurer Ferrari, a second by Trustee Noel. Are there any questions? Hearing none, roll call.
Treasurer Ferrari.
Yes.
Clerk Wright, yes. Trustee Charles.
Yes.
Trustee Colvin.
Yes.
Trustee Payne.
Yes.
Trustee Noel.
Yes.
And Supervisor Curtis.
Yes.
I move to approve the 2024 Great Pines Manor subdivision road paving special assessment resolution as presented, in the amount of $62,109.08, authorized to be placed in the 2024 winter tax roll.
Second.
I have a motion by Treasurer Ferrari, a second by Trustee Noel. Are there any questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Clerk Wright, yes. Trustee Charles.
Yes.
Trustee Colvin.
Yes.
Trustee Payne.
Yes.
Trustee Noel.
Yes.
Treasurer Ferrari.
Yes.
Supervisor Curtis.
Yes.
I move to approve the 2024 North Area Sanitary Sewer Special Assessment District resolution as presented, in the amount of $361,701.37, and authorized to be placed in the 2024 winter tax roll.
Second.
I have a motion by Treasurer Ferrari, a second by Trustee Noel. Are there any questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Charles.
Yes.
Trustee Colvin.
Yes.
Trustee Payne.
Yes.
Trustee Noel.
Yes.
Treasurer Ferrari.
Yes.
Clerk Wright, yes. And Supervisor Curtis.
Yes.
I move to approve the 2024 52-3 District Court Order as presented, the amount of $150, authorized to be placed in the 2024 winter tax roll.
Second.
I have a motion by Treasurer Ferrari, a second by Trustee Noel. Are there any questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Colvin.
Yes.
Trustee Payne.
Yes.
Trustee Noel.
Yes.
Treasurer Ferrari.
Yes.
Clerk Wright, yes. Trustee Charles.
Yes.
Supervisor Curtis.
Yes.
Thank
I- Thank you, Joe. Item 13B, water and sewer recommendations. Chairman Noel?
Good evening, Board. We had a request from 979 Stony Lake Court to waive the lake sewer usage charge. I'd like to make a motion. The board has reviewed this and felt the issue would be best addressed by the post office. I'd like to make a motion that the Oxford Township Board of Trustees authorize Supervisor Jack L. Curtis to send a letter to the property owner at 979 Stony Lake Court informing that the late fee incurred for late sewer bills should be addressed with the local post office, as the township mailed out the sewer bill correctly in time, on a timely manner.
I will second that.
I have a motion by Trustee Noel, this backwards, and a second by Treasurer Ferrari. There we go. Any questions? Board members, I have one question, and I talked today about this because there are others. There was a problem at the post office. Post office inadvertently smeared a lot of the sewer bills that went out, and it caused, I know of about 15 people that have complained about this so far. It was my opinion that they are acting as a contractor for us, just as the county acts as a contractor for us to prepare the bills, and our residents are being forced to pay for something that one of our contractors screwed up. And I didn't feel it was, after reviewing it and seeing how many we had, I felt it was kind of terrible. It's $15, it's not much, but it's still the principle of the thing. We're charged by the county to do the water bills, we're charged by the post office to mail them. We expect them to do their job as us as them contracting for them. So they have screwed it up. There's no going back to the post office and getting $15. Up to this board to recognize that one of our contractors caused the problem, and in good faith, I'm one that feels we should return the money. So that's all I have to say. Any other questions? Clerk Wright?
Yeah, this is I'd say for me, an in-between situation. And the reason I say that is because we take an oath that we're sworn to uphold the rules and regulations of Oxford Township, and one of those in our sewer ordinance indicates that failure to receive a bill does not excuse the obligation to pay. But in this case, when you look at the circumstances that took place, you know, is it our moral or ethical duty to really reach out to our residents in this case to say, you know what, maybe we look at this as a one-time situation where people produce that smeared postcard, which has been done, which is in the packet here, and you give them that obligation of a waiver of that penalty on that one-time basis, maybe for, you know, a 2-month period. And then they show that to perhaps Supervisor Curtis to make that decision whether or not that's a legitimate reason to waive this one-time inefficiency. And I know that the Water and Sewer Committee is going to be looking at alternative ways of sending the bills out. So that's something that, you know, I think that we probably could take a look at, you know, eating $300 or whatever that might be, just for the ability to actually give a peace of mind to some of the residents that received a bill that wasn't any of their doing based upon not receiving it.
Yes,
I just have a comment.
Trustee Colvin.
This has
go ahead.
happened to me. It's actually happened to me where I've gotten it late. I just paid the late fee. It's my responsibility to pay my bills on time. I know I have the sewer bill coming. I should pay it.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes, Trustee Payne.
The bills were smeared, but were they still delivered?
Can you bring it up?
I have one in the packet.
I don't have
Page.
the
I have,
Were they
Oh,
still
yeah,
delivered?
you're right, I can't read
packet.
that.
Were they still delivered
Yeah, after the late date.
after the late?
Right here on the screen, I'll bring this up, I'll blow it up here bigger.
And the mailing sorter smeared. I bet,
Right there.
I don't know, there's probably maximum that I've heard about is today total 20. But that's exactly what happened. And you could see that it was resent out on August 9th, and I think the due date was August 7th or something like that. What is it up there?
Mr.
August
Supervisor,
August 6th, yeah.
on behalf of the Water Sewer Committee, we only knew of one when we reviewed it. So now we're growing to 20.
Yes,
So the story and the flavor is changing, but we do have a motion on the table.
yes,
So,
yes, trustee
how many are we
Charles.
talking about?
I haven't kept track of them until all of a sudden I read the packet, and I have one lady that's calling me and has called everybody else. But I know the counter has received some, Danielle has received some, Treasurer Ferrari's had people at the counter, Clerk Wright, talking about this instant, what happened. And with the new information for trustee Noel, I mean, it wasn't us holding it back, is so we start looking into it, we found there was more than one, and we found out it was a post office problem, and listening to some of the customers, what they said, this is evidently a known problem with about 20 bills that I know. Yes, Clerk Wright.
Yeah, and you know, in the past, this has not happened for people coming to the board to protest their penalty, because before it was only $3.20, and they just basically said, that's crazy, I'm not gonna put the time into it, but in this instance, you've had several people come out of the woodwork and say, you know what, this isn't right, you know, there has to be, can you give me some help here? But there again, our ordinance says, you know what, and then even the bill says in the back, but if you don't receive your bill, I mean, I don't know, because, you know, if you're a resident for so many years, you technically should know when your bills are due. So that's another point.
And that's how we handle taps.
Right.
Yes.
Receive your bill, you still get penalties.
Okay, well, if there are no more questions, I'll call the roll, please.
Jack, could you repeat the motion, please?
Motion. I'll pull it up on the screen.
It's the one that's in your packet.
Yeah, I know, but I'll go to that page then.
This may
Mr.
not be-
Supervisor, like I could
They
read
may
it.
not be the same as mine. Mine's 231 here, but it's not the same. Oh, let me
Trustee Noel will reread it. Hold
Go
on.
ahead.
try 271.
Go ahead.
That the Oxford, I make a motion that the Oxford Township Board of Trustees authorizes Supervisor Jack L. Curtis to send a letter to the property owner of 979 Stony Lake Court, informing them that the late fee incurred for late sewer bill should be addressed with the local post office, as the township mailed out the sewer bill incorrectly, bill correctly and in a timely manner.
Seconded by Treasurer Ferrari. Roll call, please.
Treasurer Ferrari,
Yes.
Trustee Noel,
Yes.
Trustee Payne,
Yes.
Trustee Colvin,
Yes.
Trustee Charles,
Yes.
Clerk Wright, no, and Supervisor Curtis.
No. Okay, I'm gonna stop here. Trustee Noel, it is 7 o'clock. I have Katrina Desmond. Katrina Desmond represents Campfield Miller and can address any questions after our public hearing.
I move to open the public hearing at 7:01 PM regarding Great Lakes Senior Living Communities LLC, issuance of tax exempt bonds.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Treasurer Ferrari, a second by Trustee Noel. Are there any questions? Hearing none, roll call.
Trustee Charles,
Yes.
Trustee Colvin,
Yes.
Trustee Payne,
Yes.
Trustee Noel,
Yes.
Treasurer Ferrari,
Yes.
Clerk Wright, yes, and Supervisor Curtis.
Yes. Members of the public, if you'd like to speak on the Great Lakes Senior Living Communities bond refunding, now would be the time. Seeing none,
I move to close the public hearing at 7:02 PM regarding Great Lakes Senior Living Communities LLC issuance of tax exempt bonds.
Second.
I have a motion by Treasurer Ferrari and a second by Trustee Noel. Are there any questions? Hearing none, roll call.
Trustee Colvin,
Yes.
Trustee Payne,
Yes.
Trustee Noel,
Yes.
Treasurer Ferrari,
Yes.
Clerk Wright, yes, Trustee Charles,
Yes.
and Supervisor Curtis.
Yes. Okay, item 12B, Great Lakes Senior Living Community Resolution. Katrina, if you'd come up to the mic in case there are any questions from the board, that way they can hear you and on camera.
Hi everyone, my name is Katrina Desmond. Probably go without a microphone. I am an attorney in Miller Canfield. We are helping with the process. This is solely a federal tax approval. These are not obligations of the township. This sort of hearing is required under the Internal Revenue Code only for bonds that were essentially issued in 2019 for the Great Lakes facility that is located in the township of Oxford. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to
It's
answer them.
not going to impact the
Treasurer
property,
Ferrari, go ahead.
not going to impact the property tax situation, correct?
No, the property tax situation is between you and Great Lakes, and that has nothing to do with this TEFRA approval.
I have a quick question.
Yes, sir, Trustee Charles.
For individuals, will this be subject to intangibles tax?
No, this is for tax exempt bonds.
No, I
So-
understand that part,
okay.
but there's intangibles tax depending on the purpose of the bond.
I don't know the impact of the intangibles tax to bondholders. Yeah, the interest on the bonds is tax exempt, but I don't know an individual's income tax situation.
Any other questions for Katrina?
I move to approve a resolution approving solely for the purpose of section 147, subsection F of the Internal Revenue Code of 1986, the issuance by the Arizona Industrial Development Authority of not to exceed 355 million senior living revenue bonds, Great Lakes Senior Living Communities LLC.
Second.
I have a motion by Treasurer Ferrari and a second by Trustee Noel. Any questions? Seeing none, roll call.
Clerk Wright, yes, Treasurer Ferrari.
Yes.
Trustee Charles,
Yes.
Trustee Noel,
Yes.
Trustee Payne,
Yes.
Trustee Colvin,
Yes.
Supervisor Curtis.
Yes. Thank you, Katrina.
Thank you all.
We'll move back down now to item 13B2.
13B2.
13B double I.
Somebody else bingo, I'll be in trouble. The Oxford Township Water and Sewer Committee received a request to adjust the water usage charge for property owner at 773 Brooks Lane. There had been some leaks at the house. Further discussion with the committee, we felt that we could do a smaller water bill credit of $500. So I'd like to make the motion that the Oxford Township Board of Trustees authorizes Supervisor Jack L. Curtis to send a letter to the property owner of 773 Brooks Lane and the Oakland County Water Resource Commissioner's Office stating that will offer a one-time $500 water usage bill credit for the two homeowners' water, for the two leaks the homeowner occurred with the water system.
I'll second that.
Okay, I have a motion by trustee Noel, a second by treasurer Ferrari. Are there any questions? Seeing none, roll call.
Trustee Noel,
Yes.
trustee Payne,
Yes.
treasurer Ferrari,
Yes.
trustee Colvin,
Yes.
trustee Charles,
Yes.
clerk Wright, yes, and supervisor Curtis.
Yes. 3 ayes. John?
Board, trustee board, we have a rate increase we're proposing tonight for the sewer fund budget.
Water.
Water. Three ayes.
I'm sorry. Got that one too.
Bingo.
Thank you. For the water fund budget, the increase is from 26.67 MCF to 32 MCF with a minimum charge of $48 per quarter. It's an increase from $40 per quarter for the minimum charges. There are two motions tied with this tonight. One is the budget, one is the rate increase. I'd like to make a motion that the Oxford Township Board of Trustees authorize a REU rate adjustment from 26.67 MCF per 1,000 cubic feet to 32 MCF per 1,000 cubic feet with a minimum charge of $48 per quarter, increase from $40. There is currently a minimum charge per quarter of 1.5 MCF per 1,000 cubic feet of consumption. This increase is to go into effect for the next Oakland County water billing.
Second.
I have a motion by trustee Noel, a second by treasurer Ferrari. Are there any questions? Yes, sir. Well, let's do
Go ahead.
trustee Payne first.
You want to explain the increase?
Yes, we've had, that's what I was going for, and I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry, board, that I didn't explain the increase. We've been dealing with Oakland County Water and Sewer financial representatives on and off since the first of the year, discussing our water situation. And we feel that we need to increase the water situation, the rates. We have some major projects in Willow Lake pressure reducing valve. We have Seymour Lake Road that we want to put a water line from Dunlap to Sandy Shores, and it's quite a large amount of funding that we'll be undertaking. We also are starting to look for a well/treatment facility east of M24, and that would loop our system along Sanders Road to Harwood Road.
Any other questions? Did that answer your question, trustee Payne?
Yeah.
Clerk Wright?
Yeah, considering this motion does go through, your next water billing from Oakland County will be in November. So you're billing in arrears, and my concern is that when the residents get their water bill, who's gonna answer the questions on why is this going up? So I would like to have this board have something in place, so when the calls are placed into the township, that it's a uniform response, and there are reasons behind that. Because the calls are gonna be coming.
Yes, and we can have a communications piece done and educate the people who go to the counter to explain it, and then direct any other further inquiries not satisfied at the counter or on the telephone to go to the Water and Sewer Committee for explanation.
We plan on working with Supervisor Curtis on that.
Any other questions? Forgot the generator, we're gonna pay for the generator yet.
We don't have it yet.
That's right, that's $500 grand.
Yes, sir.
Generator for what?
The filtration plant, we're running a borrowed generator up there, a backup generator. And we're running it from the WRC until the new one comes in. It's been on order for what, a year and a half now? About that, yep. Okay, we have a motion on the floor, I'll call the roll, please.
Trustee Payne,
You're going out on a big one here.
Yeah. Yes. I'm sorry.
trustee Charles,
Yes.
clerk Wright, yes. Treasurer Ferrari,
Yes.
trustee Noel,
Yes.
trustee Colvin,
Yes.
and supervisor Curtis.
Yes.
I'll make a motion, the Oxford Township Board of Trustees approves the 2025 water fund budget as presented.
Second.
I have a motion by Treasurer Ferrari and a second by trustee Noel. Board members, I saw this and I thought, what the heck? We didn't have a budget before for the water and sewer that was in public. Why are we doing this now? And all of a sudden I thought, wait a minute, now it's out there, let them see it. And it keeps public knowledge of where the water and the sewer money goes. Trustee Colvin.
I just want to build it, that was the reason for us putting it out there. We discussed it in committee, we said we need to be transparent. Let's show everybody what our financials are.
Exactly, it's something the new committee thought about. I'm all for it. So we have a motion on the floor, roll call please.
Clerk Wright, yes. Treasurer Ferrari.
Yes.
Trustee Charles.
Yes.
Trustee Colvin.
Yes,
Trustee Payne.
Yes.
Trustee Noel.
Yes.
Supervisor Curtis.
Yes.
Again, sewer, I'm gonna help trustee Old out on that. We looked at ways to, that we've got the new bonds coming, Clinton Oakland Interceptor. They're gonna probably phase them in. So the committee really studied this and we thought it'd be best to kind of phase in these increases because those bonds can change. So instead of going from a big increase from 143 to where we should be, which is probably 175 or 180, we want to go to 155 to see how the next series of bonds plays out in 2026. So this should help take care of the bonds coming through from the county. There are two different series coming in early next year and the middle of next year. I'll make a motion, the Oxford Township Board of Trustees authorizes a sewer REU rate adjustment from the 143 rate per REU per quarter to 155 rate per REU per quarter. Sewer commercial customers will be increased from $50.95 per MCF per quarter to $55.22 per MCF per quarter. This change will be effective with the January 2025 sewer billing.
Second.
I have a motion by Treasurer Ferrari. I have a second by trustee Noel, and I have an anxious hand down on the end from trustee Colvin.
I just want to fill in some blanks. We're increasing this on the best information we have available right now. We know this needs to be done right now. We are anticipating we may need more increases in the future, but we don't know that. We know we need this increase right now just to cover our current obligations. Otherwise, we're Highland Park, so we don't want to go down that road.
I'll solidify that comment because all along I've been, I'm not on water, I'm not on sewer, and I felt bad asking for rate increases. But where I feel this rate should be, you don't wanna know.
Feel bad, I'll give you my bill.
No, I don't feel bad, I just feel bad about not doing where it should go. Roll call. Oh, I'm sorry, Clerk Wright.
So this will be effective starting October 1,
January billing.
which is October, November, December.
Yep,
Yes.
which is your January billing.
Okay. Sorry about that.
That's right.
My left eye is bad tonight. Roll call.
Clerk Wright, yes. Trustee Charles.
Yes.
Trustee Colvin.
Yes.
Trustee Payne.
Yes.
Trustee Noel.
Yes.
Treasurer Ferrari.
Yes.
Supervisor Curtis.
Yes.
I make a motion, the Oxford Township Board of Trustees approves the 2025 sewer fund budget as presented.
Second.
I have a motion by Treasurer Ferrari, a second by trustee Noel. Board members, this is the same as the water fund budget. Now we have the sewer fund budget that we'll know what we're getting into in the beginning of every year, transparency. So are there any questions? Seeing none, roll call please.
Trustee Charles.
Yes.
Clerk Wright, yes. Treasurer Ferrari.
Yes.
Trustee Noel.
Yes.
Trustee Payne.
Yes.
Trustee Colvin.
Yes.
Supervisor Curtis.
Yes. Item number 13B, V3. Let's take that one.
2020 MDOT M24 project billing. 2020, we had MDOT hired them to put a sewer main up through the center of 24. We have been working with them ever since the work was completed on finding out what was owed, what was not owed, what the project cost was. We have the project ended up with the additional cost of $1.5 million, $1,538,000. What the Water Sewer Committee worked with Oakland County.
MDOT.
MDOT, excuse me, thank you, Jack. Mr. Bruce. We've been working for this over a 2-year period. And Joe has worked very hard, Treasurer Ferrari has worked very hard. We have negotiated a settlement with them for the billing. It is an interest-free settlement. And what I'd like to present a motion that the Oxford Township Board of Trustees authorizes the Water and Sewer Committee member, Joseph G. Ferrari, to relay to the State of Michigan Department of Transportation its formal acceptance of a 2-year payment plan for the balance owed for the 2020 M24 Water and Sewer Expansion Project. It is understood that each payment will be approximately $192,307.57 to be paid quarterly, starting with the first payment in December of 2024.
Second.
I have a motion by trustee Noel, a second by treasurer Ferrari. Board members, if you have any questions, I'll start off. In 2020, when we had the sewer line project in, we were quoted a certain price to have it done. In 2021, we got the bill, and some people have been working to get this bill explained, verified, rectified, back to where it should be. All the hard work that the past sewer committee did, the current sewer committee did, Treasurer Ferrari did in battling to get a payment plan. We've been making interest on the money, we owe the money, and what you're asking to do is to pay that bill, and I'd support that. So, any other questions? Hearing none, roll call.
Trustee Noel,
Yes?
trustee Payne,
Yes.
trustee Colvin,
Yes.
treasurer Ferrari,
Yes.
clerk Wright, yes, trustee Charles,
Yes.
and supervisor Curtis.
Yes. Thank you. Item 13D, which is now C. 13C, schedule a first reading of zoning ordinance 67A.035.
I move to set a first reading of zoning ordinance 67A.035 for the November 13th, 2024 Oxford Township Board of Trustees meeting.
Second.
I have a motion by treasurer Ferrari, a second by trustee Noel. Are there any questions? Hearing none, roll call please.
Clerk Wright, yes, treasurer Ferrari,
Yes.
trustee Payne,
Yes.
trustee Noel,
Yes.
trustee Colvin,
Yes.
trustee Charles,
Yes.
supervisor Curtis.
Yes. Item 13D, schedule the first reading of zoning ordinance 67A.036.
John, can you take that one? I lost my connection here. Oh, my bad. Hold on, guys. Can you-
What page is that on?
341.
Okay.
Working very diligently.
Okay. I move to set a first reading of zoning ordinance 67A.036 for the November 13th, 2024 Oxford Township Board of Trustees meeting.
Second.
I have a motion by treasurer Ferrari, a second by trustee Noel. Are there any questions? Hearing none, roll call please.
Trustee Colvin,
Yes.
trustee Payne,
Yes.
trustee Noel,
Yes.
treasurer Ferrari,
Yes.
clerk Wright, yes, trustee Charles,
Yes.
supervisor Curtis.
Yes. Item 13E, employee health insurance funding. Clerk Wright?
Yeah, as a regular occurrence every year, the township board has the option to determine the funding for the upcoming insurance renewal, either by way of the hard cap or the 80-20 plan or a percentage asset by the township board. So with that, I don't have it in front
I
of me.
move that the Charter Township of Oxford exercise the opt-out provision which allows the local unit of government, the Charter Township of Oxford, to determine the contribution amount for healthcare insurance coverage for the 2024-2025 plan year.
Second.
I have a motion by treasurer Ferrari, a second by trustee Noel. Are there any questions? Roll call please.
Treasurer Ferrari.
Yes.
Clerk Wright, yes. Trustee Charles.
Yes.
Trustee Colvin.
Yes.
Trustee Payne.
Yes.
Trustee Noel.
Yes.
Supervisor Curtis.
Yes. Item 13F, employee health insurance renewal. Clerk Wright?
Yes, now the plan we have is the one that's being requested for renewal on that. And
I move that Oxford Township renew the Blue Cross Blue Shield Health Insurance for group number 0070111799, division 0000, Oxford Fire Department, group 0070111799, Division 002, Oxford Township Employees, Group 0070117999, Division 004, Oxford Township Employees, Group 0070117999, Division 005, Oxford Township Employees, with a Blue Cross Blue Shield Community Blue HRA PPO Platinum 1500 plan, effective December 1, 2024. Authorize Barons, Hendricks, and Stewart to forward the appropriate paperwork to Blue Cross Blue Shield to activate the Blue Cross Blue Shield Community Blue PPO Platinum 1500 plan. All members enrolled on the Blue Cross Blue Shield Community Blue HRA PPO Platinum 1500 plan shall contribute 5% of the premium cost effective December 1, 2024. Also, the Charter Township of Oxford shall fund a health reimbursement arrangement 213D plan account effective January 1, 2025, cover any additional expenses incurred, including but not limited to deductibles, insurance, emergency room visits, and prescription drugs. Further, Oxford Township shall renew the Blue Cross Blue Shield health insurance for Group 007011799, Division 001, Oxford Police Retiree, and Group 007011799, Division 003, Oxford Township Fire Police Retiree, the Blue Cross Blue Shield Community Blue PPO Platinum 250 plan, effective December 1, 2024.
Second.
Wow, that was a long one. Treasurer Ferrari made the motion, a second by trustee Noel. Are there any questions? Hearing none, roll call.
Trustee Noel,
Yes.
trustee Payne,
Yes.
trustee Colvin,
Yes.
trustee Charles,
Yes.
treasurer Ferrari,
Yes.
clerk Wright, yes, and supervisor Curtis.
Yes. Item 13G, Oxford Cemetery Paving Award. Board members, in your packet, we had Engineer Sharp's help. We sent out to bid on the paving of the north side cemetery. The roadways in there are gravel, continuing to wash out, and we agreed to use ARPA expense money for improvements and maintenance in the Oxford Cemetery, and we'd like to go with not the lowest bidder, the second lowest bidder. As you can see in the packet, the lowest bidder was $98,000, the second bidder was $100,000. The reason for this is True North Asphalt did our front parking lot out here. We had numerous concerns, numerous issues, numerous time delays, none of which we were afforded, and we just don't need that kind of problem for $2,000.
I move to award the Oxford Cemetery paving project to Birmingham Seal Coat at the base bid amount of $100,863.24. This $100,863.24 amount to be expensed to general fund, account number 101-267-962.002, ARPA expenses.
I'll second that.
Okay, I have a motion by Treasurer Ferrari, a second by Trustee Charles. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Trustee Colvin,
Yes.
trustee Payne,
Yes.
trustee Noel,
Yes.
treasurer Ferrari,
Yes.
clerk Wright, yes, trustee Charles,
Yes.
supervisor Curtis.
Yes. Item 13H, board members, about a month ago, we had a monster hickory tree break off about 8 feet up in the air, crash down into the cemetery. It is so huge. The branches are, some of them are 24 inches in diameter. We got a couple of prices from guys to remove the tree. It was upwards of $4,000. It's such a huge tree. They have to crane out the parts and pieces because you damaged the cemetery lots. So figuring you're gonna have to have a crane in there to do that, we have three other trees. 5 total trees that we'd like to get down. They're dead, they're dangerous, and we need to get them out. So what we'd like to do is go out and get a price to have all 5 of them done by a qualified contractor, select that contractor, and proceed with the removal of those trees.
Think they'll have insurance and everything, right?
They will be covered with insurance. They will have all liability and vehicle insurance.
I move to authorize the cemetery committee to solicit quotes for tree removal in the Oxford Cemetery, select a contractor from the submitted quotes to proceed with the tree removal in the Oxford Cemetery.
Thanks. Second.
I have a motion by Treasurer Ferrari, a second by Trustee Charles. Questions, please.
Just a quick comment, that was a good idea to combine everything and clean it up and be done the right way the first time.
Thank you. That was the recommendation of the cemetery committee, Kelly Richter, Curtis Wright, and myself. We spent a lot of time out in that cemetery this year with the rebuilds of the walls, and now this tree just fell down right in the middle of the whole thing. Okay, roll call?
Clerk Wright, yes. Trustee Charles.
Yes.
Trustee Colvin.
Yes.
Trustee Payne.
Yes.
Trustee Noel.
Yes.
Treasurer Ferrari.
Yes.
And Supervisor Curtis.
Yes. Board members, the following motion should be offered to confirm the Halloween trick-or-treat hours for 2024 in the township. I went to the village council meeting last night and talked with Joe Medor and Terry, and their hours are the same, 6 to 7:30.
I move to set the Halloween trick-or-treat hours for Oxford Township from 6 p.m. 7:30 p.m. on Thursday, October 31st, 2024.
Second.
I have a motion by Treasurer Ferrari, a second by Trustee Noel. Are there any questions? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Hearing none.
I have a question.
Say boo.
Yes,
Will the fire department be doing cider and donuts this year?
Stealing my thunder for open comment, but yes.
she read your mind. Yes, we'll wait till public comment. Item 14, we have nothing removed. Item 15, final call for the public comment on any items you'd like to discuss. Oh, come on up, chief. Let me guess.
To answer Trustee Payne's question, yes, the fire department will be hosting cider and donuts on Halloween, starting around 6:30 till around 8 or so, for all the kids at both stations.
At both
At
stations.
both stations, yes.
We'll be sure to communicate that out also.
Yeah. We'll be getting our apple cider and donuts again from Stony Creek, out there on the 32-mile road there.
Okay. Thank you. Board members, it's time for the Board of Trustee comments. We're going to start with Trustee Charles.
I'll make it succinct, none.
Clerk Wright.
Just a thought coming to mind that the Chamber of Commerce is holding a business expo at Boulder Point next week, so I believe it's from 3 to 6 on Tuesday the 15th. So if you're inclined to want to see the businesses in Oxford and what they have to offer, there's an opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. Treasurer Ferrari.
Nothing.
Trustee Noel.
No, thank you.
Trustee Payne.
Nothing.
Trustee Colvin.
Well said, thanks.
Okay, I have one. I thought of this earlier and didn't get a chance to talk with Brittany, but our next meeting is November 13th. Is Trustee Payne still a trustee?
Up until November 20th at 12. Yeah.
So you will be at the next meeting.
Unless I have something other to do.
You love it here.
Sole trustee Noel.
Like I said, you will be at the next meeting. Thank you. That's all I had.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you.
Second that.
We gotta vote.
Yes,
We gotta vote on the agenda.
you gotta vote on it. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, can stay here. Stand up now.